What do you represent? When people see you, what do they think? Do they have a positive reaction when your name comes up in conversation? When your picture shows up on their social media feed, is it a negative connotation? Is it a positive connotation? How are they responding to it? These are iron talks. In the scripture from the Judeo-Christian worldview, we look at the world and there's this little line that says, as iron sharpens iron, so man sharpens one another. Here at Equip Manhood, this is what we do. We want to make one another better. And this is part 2 of what do you represent? What are you a symbol of? My name is Brandon Morel, also known as a symbol. And hey, I take this mad serious. 1, because I realize the community that I come from. 2, I recognize and shouts out to J. Cole, no role models, but I'm here right now, right? We all have been called to symbolize something, and I just know that I want to be that for my world, for my community, for my brothers, for you, my brothers, for my family, for myself, and what it is that God has called me to, designed me to be, who He has designed me to be, who He has called me to be, in all different ways. Now, on the last one, if you missed it and you want to go back, I talked a lot about your brotherhood. Who are the people around you? But who do you represent? Right? Like in your friend group, usually there's somebody, he's the funny guy, he's the charismatic guy. Some guy is the more like kind of strong, you know what I'm saying? In that sense. Someone maybe is think of the Ninja Turtles, right? You think of Raphael, represented something, he's a symbol of something, right? You look at Michelangelo, symbolizes something. Donatello symbolizes something. Leonardo, all of them had distinct roles. And you can say this about any group. You can say this about superhero groups. You can say this about the Avengers, right? So first, we talked in the last one about your brothers, but right now, I want you to think about your family. Yo, a lot of us come from families that need men to step up. I don't know. Maybe you come from a family that you have a good role model. I don't know. Maybe your father was an amazing man. Maybe you have an amazing grandfather. Maybe you were in an adopted home and they really modeled something for you. Or maybe you're like a lot of young people that I have talked to and ministered to and connected with throughout the years, and they just, like the J. Cole thing, no role models. They need somebody to be there. And maybe that's you. Specifically for your family. You see, in my life story, I am the older brother. I'm the older grandchild. And as a result, a lot of things, a lot of pressure came on me. But when we think of family, most of us, if you have a family that's somewhat together, you know what I'm saying? There's this family photo, right? Even if it's a family that's broken, every couple years, maybe y'all have a family reunion and y'all take a family photo, right? Family photos represent a time and an experience. Maybe it's just the pajamas on Christmas that y'all wore the same. Or maybe it's the Thanksgiving photo. Or it's some vacation, right? Like in my home, in my living room, this picture right here is up. This picture right here is from our family cruise. And when you look at this picture, it looks like we was living the life, man. We was out sailing in the Caribbean. It was an amazing experience, and it was. But like most families, like most family photos, there's a story behind the photo. You see, going into that experience, going into that day, right? This is maybe the second to last day. Now, we were on this cruise going through the Caribbean and we stopped at different islands. It was an amazing experience. Good food, good time together. And it wasn't just me. This is me, my wife, and my 2 kids, right? But it wasn't just us. It was my mom, my sister, my grandparents, my cousins, like the distant family was all together on this same cruise, right? Now, we had taken the big family photo, right? The family reunion style kind of photo. But we wanted to take one for just me, my wife, and my 2 kids. So we decided, hey, I'm not gonna pay for the extra stuff. What I'm gonna do is I have my camera and I'm like, hey, let's go on the side of the pool deck, right up on the top of the ship and get the nice blue water in the background, right? Now, for some reason, we wanted this to just be us, the 4 of us, but everybody started tagging along. So we're walking, We're going up. And the way that the ship was designed, like there was a part of the ship where it was designated for people that smoked cigarettes. And so the doors like didn't do automatic open and close. You had to press a button, right? So this is the place where we're exiting out to go out onto the pool deck, right? Or the ship deck rather, next to the pool, up that way. And as we're going, like I said, everybody's there. My mom is there, a bunch of people are there. And in the background, walking behind us at a slow pace is my grandmother. Now again, my grandmother's a little bit older. She's not walking as fast or as quick. And we press the button to go through the doors. And what happens is, as we're going through the doors, me, my wife, my 2 kids, we get through the doors. My daughter, who is real young and just starting to kind of run around, starts running through. Right below that is the pool. My son grabs my daughter to save her from falling down through there. My wife starts yelling at my son because she's like, what are you doing? Why is she screaming? Because she didn't see that my daughter had ran and was in a dangerous situation. My son actually saved her, but she didn't see that, so she just heard that this girl's reacting to her older brother. What is he doing? He's torturing her, etc. Right? So he saves her. She yells, what are you doing? Now again, my grandmother's in the background, painting the scene. As she gets there, remember the button has to be closed, like pressed. The doors start to close. Her toe is caught in between the doors as they close. Her big toenail breaks and blood starts squirting out. She's screaming. Chaotic scene. We had to get her to the medic. We had to do all that stuff. But it was the second to last day on the cruise ship, and we wanted to remember it as a family. And so we took our family photo. Now, we had a lot of great experiences, but if you saw this photo, if you came over to my house and you saw this photo, or you saw it on the internet or somewhere, you would not expect the chaos. All of us have chaos. All of us come from some level of brokenness because our world is messed up. Somebody has made a mistake. Even those of us that have good examples have some broken toes, right? Metaphorically speaking. All of us, even though they have good examples, have some misunderstandings. Kind of like when my wife misunderstood my son saving his little sister, my daughter, right? These misunderstandings, this brokenness, all these little things are the family that we step into. But we as men have a very unique job to be a sense of peace, to be a sense of strength, to be a sense of wisdom, to be a sense of goodness, to lead people forward. Now, in that moment, if I go back to that story, if I had reacted crazy and I started screaming like the way my grandmother did, or I didn't see, I wasn't paying attention, so I didn't notice the fact that my son had saved my daughter, right? I was able to be the one to bring some level of stability to that situation. What are you called to do? What are you called to represent? Who will you be for your family? Will you be the one who brings strength? Will you be the one who brings peace? Will you be the one who's aware enough to bring clarity to situations? Will you be the one to take initiative when others don't? We're all called to symbolize something for our family. I want you to start evaluating for yourself like, hey, who am I in my family? Am I a father? Am I a husband? Right? Primarily. Then am I a son? Am I a brother? Am I a nephew? Am I an uncle? Right? What are the relationships that I have in my family, and what do those relationships represent? And how am I going to live to the fullness of what it is that I've been called to be and what I've meant to symbolize in that relationship? These are Iron Talks. My hope is that you will be sharpened by this message, that you will feel a little bit more empowered to live what it is that you've been called to live and symbolize in your family and in your community. Thank you for watching. Let's get strong together. Peace.